All right, lesson reaction number 10. Been a while since I've done one of these.
Elevating our backhand, meaning instead of over-exaggerating, elbow stays.
I actually really like this point.
Small move, transfer low.
We've been doing our backhands a tiny bit different because we've had a hard time keeping our eyes behind the ball.
Good. So see how your elbow came above your eye line?
This point that I'm making here,
Below your eye line.
I love to exaggerate the elbow bent, and the movement that we're going from down to up instead of up to down in our backhand. So that's what we're working on, is getting underneath the ball
Try to minimize.
and then having that
Chest and head.
elbow move up afterwards. So just the idea that we're below the ball and then we're moving up to adjust.
It's your glove, unless I hit it over there. Here you go.
And these guys are doing a pretty good job. We keep their glove in front of their eyes.
We hit the ball in our throwing hand and use these 3 fingers. Grab, go. Do not let the ball hit your palm. Here we go. Come on. Job. Last 3. 1.
But even here, so it's been a while since this lesson has happened because, one, I know this because these 2 lessons aren't currently with me right now. People like kind of phase out or don't come to lessons like during their season. So it's kind of crazy the amount that we kind of shift in what we're focused on based on the issues that we're seeing. So especially with backhands, we started seeing a lot. I'm going to go from the side. So if the hitter is that way, so the ball's coming from that direction, we're seeing a lot of people have a straight elbow straight down, or when they're actually in their stance, their glove is right under their eye line. So I actually was just looking at this video this morning of Sofia Reynoso demonstrating how she used to do her backhands as a bat buster. I myself was a bat buster for like a season with Doug Myers. If any of you guys know who Doug Myers is, he used to coach, I don't know if he still coaches, the 16 and under bat buster team. They like won all the time, and it was awesome. I was part of one of those championship teams. Anyways, oh my God, where's the camera? Here's Sofia demonstrating how they do their backhands and forehands. I don't know how well you can actually see that, but you can see, or I can see, that her fingers are facing this way. And I've seen this for years from bat busters that come into lessons, and I'm like, this feels like you're really held up here. But what they're doing is drill work to actually get their eyes behind the palm of their glove. So if I was to like rewind that video, or you guys can rewind that video anytime, but if I was to rewind, you're seeing the kids catch and they're doing backhands, they're catching it in like the web of their glove every time. And their gloves are kind of massive. They're not really feeling the ball hit the palm. And the palm, or you can say the middle of the glove, reason why we do that is, or we focus on middle of our glove, is because that's the shallowest part for us to transfer quickest. And that's how we control the ball. If we can control the ball, we can control our transfer. So obviously I get really passionate about our transfer. I'm just going to stop talking for a second. I'm talking a lot in this video.
All we're going to do is I'm going to roll or give you a choppy, and I want you to
look pretty jacked in this video. Must have been lifting some heavy weights.
Okay? And that's going to kind of tell us, especially with our first step.
I don't know about the tie of the shirt.
I
think that was a mistake.
The concept of going straight, or if you're trying to field and then gather, because that's kind of the thing that messes us up. Okay, so it's field inside or left, freeze, and then our next round will continue the progression. Next station is going to be over here with Naya.
Had this question yesterday, actually, in my Defense Club Facebook group. We had like a little live call yesterday, and one of the questions submitted was, at what age do you start teaching throwing on the run? My answer, of course, was it depends. But most normally, I like to start really teaching it and getting reps in the high school age. you'll see that I teach younger kids how to throw on the run, but we're not going to get actual reps until they learn how to control like the distance from the ball to their head. If they don't have the core strength, if they don't have the body awareness, it's really hard to say, hey, now go and practice that 400 times this week if they have bad mechanics, because that is a skill that could potentially hurt their shoulder, hurt their elbow if they're not doing it the right way. Most of the time, doing it the right way means just what Avalon just did there, is she went up with her head, but the ball stayed down here. So she fielded it and then wanted to come up, and see that creates a disconnect between the distance of the ball and the head. So over the top, we've got kind of a distance that's healthy for us. And underneath, as we hinge with our waist, we want to maintain that distance. If we get a little bit further from that distance, our body starts hurting. This is like an extreme breakdown. This is like really hard to do, but I wanted them to feel that spot. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Uh-oh. We're not really getting it here. And we're talking about ages and like the correct time to teach a certain skill. I mean, here we've got clearly a younger athlete, but in the last group, those were both pretty much the same age kid having a different body awareness. So it might not be, or most of the times, it's not dependent on the actual age of the athlete. It has to do with their developmental age. What age are they developmentally?
For me, I aim to feel inside my left so that I can take one step only. Like feeling it inside here, we're going to have to step. Right? That's 2. So try inside. Step and throw. So field, throw. Inside left, then right.
I wish I could turn the camera and show you guys Benjamin right now. He's actually being a very nice doggy right now. He's just sleeping on his paw like this.
Inside left, right, yes.
These are some quick adjustments by these athletes. Alyssa, the one in the gray Minnesota shirt, she makes a quicker adjustment. But we've got the one in the black shirt that doesn't really get it, I don't think, in this drill. Let's see if we can find out why.
That's how we're going to transfer it. Both hands down inside. Yes.
Oh, there we go. I was wrong.
Here we go. Left, right. Yes. All right. This is sports. All right. Okay, so this is...
Naya hates when the mic is on her. She thinks that when the mic is on her, her voice gets deeper.
So we're going to be starting from here.
I don't think so.
We're going to be working on our transfer and getting our glove out towards our target, because a lot of you guys tend to bring the ball up to our ear, and that's slower. So we want to get our glove out. So we're going to start here. Glove out. Once we get to this spot, we're going to throw it and finish down with our chest. Okay? So if I see you guys kind of bringing it here, I'm going to make you guys do 3 reps where you're just going 1, 2, 3. Then on the 4th one, then you guys can throw. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, throw. Got it?
We've been doing that drill a lot, or trying to take notice of where the glove goes. So in her 2 demonstrations, they looked really, really similar, but the difference on video and in real time, when you see this over and over again, is super clear. So this drill that they're doing, I'm going to see if I can show you a different angle. What they want to do is not bring, this is my glove hand, okay? Not bring the glove to the right of my face before I actually turn and throw. So what Naya's wanting them to do is keep my glove to the left of my nose and just transfer middle, pull the ball out. Instead of bring my glove to my throwing hand and then have to then bring my glove out in front again.
Okay, your shoulders turn left. Ready? Go. Shoulders turn, go. There you go, good. Good job.
Let's see how these girls do. See, I saw that hand go right at the nose. Yeah. It's pretty good. Throwing is so tough. It is very tough. Let's see if Ben's going to be good. Throwing is tough because...
Throwing class. I guess I'll be your microphone. Just talk to that. Never mind.
There's a reason why all this footage didn't really get used in social media, because the sound gets a little bit messed up. I'm talking over Naya in some cases. But my thought was, throwing is just difficult because so many kids, if they have a hard time throwing, they rush through it because we're a little bit insecure about our throw, or we rush through it and then we don't have the body awareness of like understanding each part of our throw. So we can tell them something and they just don't feel it. They don't feel it over and over. So video is super helpful. And then like actually making them pause and giving them stopping points is helpful as well. That's what we do. In the age that you just saw, that was the high school class, not this one. I think we went kind of backwards in the order of these videos, but in the high school class, that's where we see most of it, because we've got 15, 16, 17-year-olds that were never corrected, or they just formed bad habits, whether it was compensating for an injury. Oh, I'm doing circus tricks now. Oh no. I'm going to finish my thought eventually. Whether we have bad habits for whatever reason, the high school age classes are notorious for like being able to throw super hard or move super fast, but not know what they look like. Holy moly. Got some interesting throws on the run here. When we're looking at throwing on the run, we're looking for contact, one step throw. So contact with the ball and able to throw with just one step after that contact. That's, to us, a successful throwing on the run. Yeah, this is why throwing on the run is super cool. And I'm explaining to the kids like why a lot of them failed at that like last drill. I think that was like the 7:30 class, and the balls were going like crazy. And so Amanda Fama and I got to do it too, because selfishly it's like one of my favorite things to do. And just demonstrating helps the kids. But yeah, if we're comparing how we do with like a routine ground ball to how we do with a throwing on the run, we just haven't gotten the reps that we need to actually master it.
Make good eye contact, make adjustments. Very next breath, make adjustments. Okay, so today we've got tennis balls. We're going to do two things in one station because it is pretty simple. So I want you guys to focus with tennis balls, flat glove for half of the time. Little cushion, turn the ball over. biggest thing is if our last movement is out on these, if it's a hard hit, we're just crashing into the ball. Okay, so cushion in. On our backhands, we're elevating our backhand, meaning we're not
Man, when I hear too much of my voice, I just tune out.
On the ground, we want minimal movement. So no movement with our chest, no movement with our
I hope
eyes.
other people don't.
Small move.
The kids don't.
Facing down. Okay, instead of coming all the way up and covering our eye line, underneath our eye line.
Ben for sure does. Hi, Ben.
Big idea
Benjamin?
is going to be
Benjamin?
right foot down as quick as we can. Okay, it's going to speed up our transfer.
Yes.
Anybody trying to
Yes.
speed
Thank
up
you.
how quick the ball gets out of your glove? One thing that we can do is focus on just our feet, which is like counterintuitive, right? So instead of like being super quick down here,
He loves me
know that
too.
our body's trying to time up. Okay, we cannot throw until our right foot gets down on the ground. Okay, so we're gonna start outside of these squares.
It's a long time talking, and this is the high school class. So if I really want them to understand a drill, I kind of go back and forth of the high school class. A lot of times we just let them get a ton of reps and it's less talking. But probably once a month, this high school class gets more explanation because they actually can handle the why of these drills.
I'm going to tell you what you need to do. It's not like a hard, fast truth. What's faster? It's what's faster for you, right? So crossover step is getting your right foot step, right foot in this, whatever shape this is, to throw quick. Our shuffle step, you just completely annihilate the entire drill if we shuffle. But you can practice our shuffle over there and live. Okay, so
I feel like my brain is slowly becoming like their brains, where I am just not capable of listening for this long. But I'm also listening for 28 minutes and not like 60 seconds like they are. So I'm going to give myself an excuse there.
There we go. Good. Yeah. Going. Give it a throw. Good.
So they're doing crossover steps here. You heard me, or maybe you were tuning me out as well.
It's going to force you to get that elbow back and throw faster.
But
Good.
practicing getting our right foot down quick actually speeds up our transfer time because our body wants to be in time. Our upper and lower body want to be in time. The quicker our right foot gets down, the quicker we have to get the ball out of our glove. So with the crossover, it's actually a little bit tougher, I think, because the right foot gets down a little bit later than it would on a shuffle step. So when I learned this, or when I was growing up,
That one was slow.
I learned a crossover, and then once I got to college, I thought it was cheating because it was definitely easier, but I used a shuffle,
That was good.
and easier in this case actually did mean quicker as well.
You're too tired.
So the shuffle is more my back foot replaces where my glove was, but I don't have to get as high with my right foot.
Are you okay? Okay, well, we were done getting that right foot down, so hopefully your collarbone is okay. Today, athletes tell us everything that happens in their game. Okay, Sophia, getting that right foot down quick.
I'm unsure why Amanda holds the mic sometimes. The mic does have a clip on it.
And throwing. I should probably start with that.
I can almost guarantee that Amanda Fama is never going to watch this YouTube video.
Quick into the orange. You're gonna come all the way
She doesn't really answer my
Or
texts.
Sophia, go again.
I love
And
her.
you're gonna throw.
She's great.
That right
Kids love
foot
her.
down quick. Good. It's gonna speed up your whole transfer.
Don't think she would be 19 minutes deep in my YouTube video, though. So
Your right foot into the hexagon quick. Or
we can talk about how she doesn't
right
clip her
foot
mic.
across the throw, right? Get that right foot down quick. That's gonna speed everything up. What? Good.
Last night on the Facebook group live, we talked about some things that I'm going to be adding into Defense Club, which are going to be some more videos on how to correct common issues.
I mean, that's just a visual aid, but
I feel like we do this often on Instagram,
getting the ball out low.
but just more detailed
There you go.
videos for the actual platform, I think, is what I'm going to be aiming to do. I'm really considering doing a coaching certification and putting everything literally in one spot and walking people through step by step
should be short, so it should be faster.
how to go through basically the platform. So
That was fast. What'd you say?
that's my next step, I think.
I try to use tape all the time. Same thing. Quick, get it down. There you go.
I think if I were getting really intense into
Let's move the
coaching, or if I found me, I'd be like, all right, where's the step by step? How do I move through this? So I think I'm going to do that. Let me know what you guys think.
Good. Right foot down quick. Make sure you're coming
That
over.
orange hexagon is really in the wrong spot, and it's getting further away from the spot. Why aren't we fixing it? Unsure.
Tell me, biggest difference between fielding here and fielding at a field for practice or a game?
There we go.
2 things I'm thinking about. What do you think? Different hops, okay? Yeah, we're on turf. That's dirt. Way different. This is way easier to me. Yeah. What's the other thing?
Turf's easier than dirt, 100%.
Doesn't always go to you. I'm thinking what?
I'm thinking my throw.
Unexpected? Okay. Biggest thing I think that's different is the distance that we don't have in here, okay? Versus being on a field and having to react to different angles, and then mostly our throws.
Here we go.
Okay, that's something that a lot of people can simulate, okay? But in terms of our vision of where we're throwing and also the actual distance that we're throwing, see, like when we're throwing into a net, like with a short drill like this, it's hard to have that vision or like imagine that we're throwing from short.
Yeah, also this is one of the biggest reasons that this also happened yesterday. I don't know why I got literally all these questions yesterday, probably for a reason, because we have to focus on them all the time. But got a question from a lesson dad. Hey, I heard you guys do mentality. Do you guys do mentality classes? And we do implement like how we are supposed to be thinking. Like this is like a mentality concept to me, is the difference between lessons and the game, because his question was, hey, she's great in practice, but when we get to the game, she's nervous, not confident, and doesn't perform. How do I fix that as her dad? Like, beyond just paying for more lessons, how do I fix that? How do I help her, really? And I don't think there's a cookie cutter answer for that, but I'm going to kind of riff on it a little bit and say that we want to combine mental reps with physical reps. We can't separate them. So what I mean by that is every single time we do a rep in a lesson, you notice that a lot of these kids aren't like treating it like a game, right? We are going through the rep, looking for an adjustment, looking at the coach. And that's by design, because we need to be learning about our movements. We're learning about our habits. But also, when we get into live balls, we want to time up the ball like a live ball. We want to be trying to funnel in our focus and react like it's a live ball, throw it like it's a live ball. And it is difficult when the setting is so different, right? On turf instead of dirt, we are not throwing the exact distance over to first base. So things don't translate in that way. But using visualization, using focus is super helpful.
I love getting mic'd up. I want to get one in the game.
Other thoughts that I have around like why it's not translating is the skills that we're building. Lessons are tough. Making adjustments is tough. Being different in a game, our natural reaction, and having a different natural reaction takes a ton of reps of practicing the reaction that you want, whether that's physical or mental or both. So I think in terms of what is actually going to help players perform better in a game is using, like, being aware of what their self-talk is during the game writing it down, whether they can remember what it is afterwards or they have a notebook in their in the dugout so they can write it down. Being aware of self-talk, and also knowing that they have to get a ton of reps, because they can master it and do it right in a lesson, but how many times are they doing it right in a lesson? 5, 6. It feels good, awesome, but to actually impact our natural reaction, we've got to do it that 10,000 times. It's just like truly different than doing it 1 or 2 times and feeling like, oh, awesome. And you feel like you've got it. You do, you know what to do, but to impact the natural reaction and have that every time without a coach by you or without needing to do it over again, it's work. Oh, here we go. In between classes, this is what happens. I guess. See Amanda do this on our first try. She showed her Olympian rings. That's funny. Trying to run straight. And this, again, my high school class, going throwing on the run. You got a lot of, well, better throws, definitely. Definitely still some people learning, though. So again, that developmental age isn't always correlated with their real age, but you got a higher chance of older having more body awareness, for sure. Yeah, a couple in a row did it wrong. Our goal in lessons is the very next rep, we want to make an adjustment. That's 3 in a row. We're not really getting the concept of feeling the ball, touching the ball, and we're getting to our left foot. Left foot down, touch the ball. Inside of that left foot. Yikes. Ooh, that's cool. A little backhand on the run. Man. Making an adjustment is hard, but that is the standard. We want to make an adjustment the very next rep. We don't want to wait. Yeah. Got a lot of different skill levels for this throwing on the run. And the fact is, you're not really going to throw on the run a lot, but being able to do it is going to be a threat to like a bunter, slapper, hitter, lefty.